Hello, friends! Do you know what we're going to do today? I bet you do, because you've been doing it every week. We're going to read a story. This one is Jesus and the Lion's Den, written by Allison Mitchell and illustrated by Catalina Echeverry. This is a true story about how Daniel points us to Jesus. Jesus and the Lion's Den. Did you know that the oldest stories in the Bible are a bit like puzzles? If you look very carefully, you can spot some Jesus moments. These are moments when someone in the story is a little bit like Jesus. So this book is about the really exciting story of Daniel. But what makes it even more exciting is that you can spot Jesus moments in it too. There are lots of lions in this story, but every time you see this special lion, it's a clue that there's a Jesus moment too. Are you ready to start the story? Let's begin. Do you have any habits? Maybe you like to sing in the bath, or twiddle your thumbs, or stick your finger up your nose. Ew. This is a story about Daniel and his habit. It was a great habit, but it was a habit that got him into a lot of trouble. Daniel knew God, the real king of everyone and everywhere. Daniel loved God very much. So, 3 times a day, Daniel knelt down by his window and he prayed. Prayer is like talking to God. We can talk to him anywhere, anytime, and about anything. What a wonderful habit! How could that get anyone into trouble? Daniel worked for Darius, the super powerful king of Babylon. Daniel was so good at his job that the king wanted him to run the whole kingdom. But the other people who worked for King Darius didn't like Daniel, and they didn't like the God he prayed to. So they decided to get Daniel into trouble with the king. Look, they're planning what they're going to do to Daniel. They say, how are we going to get Daniel into trouble? There was just one problem with their plan. Daniel had done nothing wrong. Nothing. But then they thought of something. They could use Daniel's habit to get him into trouble. Daniel's enemies got King Darius to make a new law. Look, he's writing a new law. It said that for 30 days, no one was allowed to pray to anyone except to the king. And if anyone broke the law, they would be thrown into a den of huge, hungry lions. Oh no! What would Daniel do? If he obeyed the king of Babylon, he would stay safe. But if he obeyed God, the real king of everyone and everywhere, he would keep praying. And that meant Daniel would be lion food. Safety or lion food? Which would Daniel choose? Daniel's enemies crept to his house and looked at his window. Daniel was... Do you think he was praying? He was praying! They caught him. The plan had worked, so they rushed back and told the king. Daniel was about to become lion food. King Darius tried and tried all day to find a way to save Daniel, but he couldn't. Even the king wasn't able to change the law. So, when the sun went down, Daniel was taken to the den of huge, hungry lions, and they threw him in. Look, there's the den. There are their claws. They say, "Yummy food." "I hope your God can save you," said the king. "Roar," said the lions. They are hungry. A big stone was rolled across the mouth of the den, and everyone went to bed. But the king couldn't sleep. He tossed and turned and tossed all night long. In the morning, he rushed back to the den. "Daniel, was your God able to save you from the lions?" asked the king. And then he listened. He listened to see if Daniel was alive. A voice came from the den. "Yes, O king, I am not hurt. Look, it's Daniel. He's safe. God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths. God saved me because I had done nothing wrong. Nothing." Daniel was lifted out of the den, and there wasn't even a scratch on him. Daniel had trusted God, and God had saved him. Then, because King Darius was such an important king, he wrote to all the people. He's writing again. He wrote to all the people in all the countries, in all the world. He said, this is what he wrote, "Daniel's God is the living God. He is the real king of everyone and everywhere, now and forever. He saves his people." The king said that God is really the real king. The end. Oops, no, it isn't the end at all. It's time to spot some Jesus moments. Look back at the pictures in the book. There were lots of lions in this story, but did you spot the special lion? He appears every time there's a Jesus moment in the story. Each Jesus moment is a moment when Daniel is a little like Jesus, the Son of God. Did you find all four? Here's what they mean. Let's find out. There's one. Daniel's enemies wanted to get rid of him. See, they're trying to figure out a way to get Daniel in trouble. That's what Jesus' enemies did to him too. See, there's Jesus, that's Daniel, and there's Jesus. There are the people trying to get Daniel in trouble, and there are the people who are trying to get Jesus in trouble. But are Daniel and Jesus doing anything wrong? It looks to me like they're helping people, but they want to get them in trouble. Here's another Jesus moment. In his job, Daniel had done nothing wrong. His enemies had to make up a new law in order to get Daniel into trouble. That's Daniel up there. They're making up a new law just to get him in trouble. And there's Jesus. In his whole life, Jesus had done nothing wrong. So his enemies had to tell lies about Jesus to get him into trouble. They're making up new laws. They're telling lies just to get them in trouble. When Daniel heard about his enemy's plan, he knew he was going to be arrested and thrown to the lions. What did he do? That's right, Daniel prayed. They're trying to get him in trouble, and he's praying. Here's Jesus. When Jesus knew he was going to be arrested and killed on a cross, what did he do? He prayed too. Jesus is praying. Did Daniel die in the den of lions? Nope. The lions were very hungry, and Daniel looked very tasty, and he was as good as dead. But God, the real king of everyone and everywhere, brought Daniel out of the den. Did Jesus die on the cross? Yes. 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 Jesus really was dead, but then God brought his son out of death. And do you know something amazing? God promises to bring all of his son's friends out of death and into life with him. Can God really do that? Yes, he can. He's done it before. Look, Daniel's still alive, and the king's so happy to see him. And Jesus is still alive, and Mary is so happy to see him. So, one day, all of Jesus' friends will live with him forever and ever. That's you and me, Jesus' friends. And for now, we can enjoy the same habit Daniel did. We can talk to the real King of everyone and everywhere, every day. And that is the end. Bye, everyone. See you next week.